When teenagers decide to oust a friend from their group, they can be cruel. For the shunned, it can feel like the end of the world. For Skyler Neese, it was the end of her life. In the early morning hours of July 6, 2012, teenagers Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf lured their best friend, 16-year-old Skyler Neese, into the woods of Pennsylvania under the guise of smoking marijuana there. Instead, the girls counted to 3, then stabbed Neese in the back, brutally murdering her. This is the story of how Sheila Eddy helped Rachel Schoaf murder their best friend, then pretended to help Skyler Neese's family look for her when she went missing.
Skyler Neese was murdered for reasons still unexplained by people she thought were her best friends.
Stabbed to death by Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf.
2 16-year-old girls have been arrested for stabbing a third friend to death.
Well, a murder case from Morgantown that made national headlines.
Skyler was born on February 10, 1996, in Morgantown, West Virginia, to Mary and David Neese. She was an honors student at University High School, a part-time employee at Wendy's, and an aspiring criminal defense lawyer. She had a close-knit group of friends, including Sheila and Rachel, whom she had known since middle school. Skyler often hung out with them at their homes, at the mall, or at parties. She trusted them and considered them her sisters. Skyler Neese, Sheila Eddy, and Rachel Schoaf formed an unbreakable trio during their high school years in Star City, their friendship radiating with closeness. Their online presence was prominent, a constant stream of shared moments portraying their strong bond. Yet, delving deeper into their online footprints unveils subtle undercurrents of discord within the group. Veiled in cryptic messages, Neese's final tweets before her tragic passing suggest an underlying frustration and a sense of isolation, possibly indicating a growing divide between her and her once inseparable companions. On July 4, 2013, she tweeted, "It really doesn't take much to piss me off," followed by, "Sick of being at fucking home. Thanks, friends, love hanging out with you all too." The next day, she tweeted, "You doing shit like that is why I will never completely trust you." On July 5, 2012, Sheila and Rachel invited Skyler to sneak out of her home and go for a drive with them. They picked her up around 12:30 a.m. after midnight on July 6th. Skyler Neese snuck out of her Star City home through her bedroom window. She left her cell phone charger at home and left the window open as if she planned to return, WPXY reported. Her father, David Neese, later reported that the apartment complex's surveillance footage showed Skyler entering a car around 12:35 a.m. The next morning, Skyler's parents discovered she was gone and reported her missing. But because she was a teenager and appeared to have left willingly, police quickly determined she was a runaway and not in danger. No Amber Alert was initially issued. 6 months later, police would find Skyler Neese's body in the woods of Pennsylvania. In the relentless pursuit of Skyler Neese's whereabouts, her family initiated a widespread distribution of missing person flyers throughout the vicinity. Among the volunteers was Sheila Eddy, whose involvement took an unexpected turn. According to a report by NY Daily News, Eddy took to the streets, knocking on doors and distributing flyers in a bid to locate her vanished friend. Astonishingly, she even provided solace to the grief-stricken parents of the very girl she was involved in the tragic incident with. The investigative efforts of the police eventually led them to a crucial discovery. The car used to pick up Neese belonged to Eddy. This breakthrough prompted an interview with Eddy, during which she detailed a version of events. According to her account, she stated that around 11 p.m., she picked up Neese, and along with Schoaf, they embarked on an hour-long drive, indulging in recreational substances, before eventually dropping Neese off close to her residence. By September, the FBI had joined the case and began interviewing Skyler Neese's friends. Authorities began to suspect that Schoaf and Eddy were hiding something. Finally, Schoaf broke. In January 2013, she confessed to plotting with Sheila Eddy to kill Neese. She said she and Eddy had picked Neese up that night and driven to Pennsylvania. They smoked some weed and drove around before they finally stopped and walked into a wooded area. As Neese turned around to go find a lighter in the car, Schoaf and Eddy counted 1, 2, 3 and began to brutally stab Neese. Later it was reported that Schoaf said, "Die, bitch," as they murdered their friend. Once the grim deed had concluded, the trio faced the challenging task of concealing the body. Unfortunately, the unyielding ground thwarted their attempts at burial. Instead, they resorted to a makeshift cover of branches and stones, leaving Neese's lifeless form hidden in this improvised grave for a haunting duration of 6 months. In a chilling revelation, when probed about the motive behind their heinous act, Shoaff openly confessed that their reason was as unsettlingly simple as not desiring her friendship any longer. The innocence of their friendship had transformed into something unfathomably sinister. Following Shoaff's admission, she provided authorities with the location where she and Sheila Eddy had secreted Skyler Neese's remains. This macabre hiding spot was unveiled in Brave, Pennsylvania, approximately 20 miles distant from their hometown of Star City. It was in the somber month of March 2013 that law enforcement made a public announcement, confirming the tragic discovery of Neese's lifeless body. After the news broke, Sheila Eddy, who had yet to confess, continued to act as though everything was normal. She took to Twitter, writing, "Rest easy, Skyler. You'll always be my best friend. I miss you more than you could ever know." But 2 weeks later, she tweeted, "We really did go on 3," seemingly corroborating her friend Rachel Shoaff's confession that they had stabbed Neese to death after counting to 3. On May 1st, 2013, police finally arrested Sheila Eddy. That same day, Shoaff pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. She was sentenced to 30 years in prison and was eligible for parole after 10 years.
It's a sentence of the court that you be imprisoned in the West Virginia State Penitentiary for a period of 30 years.
Sheila Eddy was charged as an adult and sentenced to life. Before her trial, she pleaded guilty to first-degree murder with mercy, which means she will be eligible for parole after 15 years.
That you be imprisoned in the West Virginia State Penitentiary for the rest of your natural life.
She came and acted as if she knew nothing. Skyler Neese's aunt Carol Michaud said at Eddy's sentencing, "She pretended and stayed with us and comforted us and swore she had no idea what was going on. To come to this day and admit she did just shows how evil she can be." While Rachel Shoaff originally said the motive for killing Neese was just that they just didn't like her, some have speculated that Eddy and Shoaff were having a sexual relationship that they didn't want leaked. But Neese's family insists that Skyler would never have outed them because she had other gay and lesbian friends and had no issue with it. Police Chief Jessica Colbank, who was a detective on the case, has said she believes the girls did it for the thrill of it. Sheila Eddy has publicly shown no remorse and remained mum about why she killed Neese. At her sentencing, her attorney, Michael Benninger, gave a statement on behalf of Eddy and her family. Sheila Eddy and her family recognize the Neese family is in a constant state of despair, loneliness, and sadness, Benninger said, according to Metro News. For that, Sheila Eddy and her family are and will be eternally sorry. We hope all families, tragically affected, can move forward in a more peaceful and hopeful way. In May 2023, Rachel Shoaff was eligible for her first parole board hearing. At the hearing, she said that she and Sheila Eddy had been in a relationship and that they'd killed Skyler Neese to keep it a secret. After things became known with the relationship, there was tension between us, she said, according to WBoy News. It was hostile and violent. In our teenage minds, we didn't know how to handle the conflict, and we just wanted it to stop. David Neese read a statement to the parole board offering no mercy for Shoaff. This narcissistic first-degree, cold-blooded killer is not sorry for the brutal murder of my only child. It's my belief that she is proud she murdered my daughter in cold blood. I wasn't there to defend my baby girl from this diabolical killer on July 6, 2012, but I'm here today to do everything within my power to make sure she stays behind bars. He got his wish. Shoaff was denied parole. She and Eddy are now housed in the Lakin Correctional Center in Mason County, West Virginia, and will be eligible for parole in 2028. It will be Eddy's first chance at parole. Since Skyler Neese's death, her parents David and Mary Neese helped pass Skyler's Law, which requires Amber Alerts to be released for all missing children in West Virginia, even if they aren't believed to have been kidnapped. The bill passed unanimously in the West Virginia House of Delegates and the state Senate. The Neeses also created a memorial in the wooded area where Sheila Eddy and Rachel Shoaff hid Skyler Neese's body. "Something horrible happened here," David Neese told 2020. "But I wanted to take the horrible thing that happened here and try to turn it into something good. A place where people can come and remember Skyler and remember the good little girl that she was, and not the little beast that they treated her like." Thank you for joining us on this episode of Criminal Case Files. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. And as always, remember to be kind to one another. Until next time.